So I listened. Shout out to O'Shea, but I listened to O'Shea's video on Cynthia G. On Tarina She roasted Cynthia G. And let me say this. Let me say this. I understand that I can understand that folks have a bigger, when you have a big platform, you got to be diplomatic about how you say certain things. There's money coming through, and that's out there. I'm not saying that's a primary motivation, but that's out there. I get that. Nothing wrong with that. But goddamn, I have to say this. If a black man, it was mentioned in the video, if a black man had a white woman tearing up black, or a Latin woman is more likely tearing up black women, you wouldn't have that same tone. You wouldn't be saying, well, there's some points I agree with from this brother, but it would be pull out the knife and jam it and twist it. I really got to say that. And what I was going to title this video, and I might title it, I might want to do a panel on it. I just wanted to get my reaction, is do black men love the black community enough to get rid of bad black women? And my personal answer is no. Ultimately, what's going to destroy the black community is black men's inability to, or willingness to really check women. And we're not talking about roasting. We're not talking about making fun of them. We're talking about saying you don't belong here and you're not recognized. Cynthia G has 75,000 subscribers, roughly 65 to 75,000. I'm not really, and a lot of, and I promise you, it's at least 5 or 10,000 of those are black men. At least 5 or 10,000, if not more. I'd argue like 25, maybe up to 25% if I had to estimate. This woman used to talk about black men, but also talk about white men, and now she literally has a white. She is the literal personification of everything that's wrong with black women. Just like how I used to say about Taz. And the fact that you have black men that just will not say, fuck her talking points. Fuck what she says is true. I get tired of that fucking disclaimer. Like, who are you trying to disclaim for? Like seriously. Like, well, there's some things that she says is true. No, it ain't. Ain't nothing she say is true. Fuck that. No. There's nothing she says is true. You know why it's not true? Because of what you said in the video. You said that she had a kid with the same nigga that she hates. So no. There's nothing she says is true. That's like saying, you might as well go ahead and say, well, you know what? There's some things about black people that Jared Taylor says is right. There's a lot of things about black people that Richard Spencer says is right. Maybe eugenics needs to be on the table. You might as well say that shit then. Because to me, her and him is the same person. Those are the same people. I get, Sigma has to check me when I say our women. I mean, at some point, if black men don't have an ability to tell good black women from bad black women, you don't have the ability to actually say you can lead the community. And it's this blind spot that we have, and she is like an obvious example of this. And some men get this pass, but for the most part, black men don't get this pass. Like, what worse can she do other than having a white supremacist on there? You got Karazin, which the video wasn't about, and he did a video on that. I didn't even look at that because if nobody's wanting to stand on the fact that she's not married, I didn't even want to hear that. Because if she's not married, she's not married. I mean, Obsidian says she's not. I believe Obsidian, so I believe that's true. I'm not, because if it wasn't true, then she would come out real quick and say it wasn't true. Y'all lying on me. But it's like, goddamn, man. It's like, what does a black woman have to, like, what does a black female have to do to be disowned from the black community? That's that's a question I really want to put out there. Look, I fuck with O'Shea, but I want to really ask that question. What does a black bitch have to do to be disowned? Fuck what other women feel about it. Fuck that because honestly, really, it shouldn't be us. It should be black women in her ass. Black men shouldn't have to protect the sanctity of black community. Black women should be the one checking Cynthia G. And if you don't have black women checking the Cynthia G, then fuck them too, because that's an indictment on black women as well. Meaning they're comfortable with bitches like that. Black men are not comfortable. Black men check other men all the time. We're not comfortable with certain things that black. It's time for women to start doing that. And I get it's just a video, it's just business. It's a video to put out there to kind of acknowledge the situation. It ain't really meant to be some shit that somebody stands on. And I get all of that. But I just like how it's just a video, I'm just using it as a way to make a bigger point. Because O'Shea's not the only, like there's other dudes that do that. And it's funny because a lot of people will say that I'm the one that want to bring in women, or I'm the one that wants to have a conversation and I don't want to be purist. A lot of y'all don't understand that the reason why I'm the way that I am, because you all don't understand. We are attacked, but they use that as a weapon to try to say that we hate women. And that's a big reason why you people got to make these like disclaimers in the first place. If we had, I'm not saying we should have women in the space, but if you had, like, shout out to Shantae Simone, Nurse Nerd, you had women, like, imagine if I passed this along to Nurse Nerd, somebody that don't even know Cynthia G like that, but she has listened to Tommy Sotomayor. She listened to him, and her and her husband react to Cynthia G. You know Jessica X gonna jump on it. That is what y'all need to understand. And imagine Avery Woodley responding to that. Or Roxy Beckles. You see what I'm saying? All them fucking disclaimers don't gotta be there then. And maybe I'm on one right now. Shout out to Dennis Sperling, because Dennis Sperling was talking about how you can't even talk about heterosexual black male heroes. That's now inappropriate, because every time you're getting, and I talked about this a while ago, you're getting bombarded by females. You know, shout out to some of the sisters doing their thing, you know, Olympics, all that. But you're literally not allowed to talk. Like, again, we gotta be real. Saying something that's not true is not gonna make it true. If anybody has any kind of serious belief that a community can be fixed, or if they're really serious about fixing the community and not just paying lip service to it, we're going to have to tell the truth about what the current state of the black community is. Black women, by and large, have their own flag. You're talking about a couple of other people that are minority that don't operate that way, but I'm arguing 80 to 90% of them, they operate within their own flag and they enforce it. And if dudes cannot accept that, the community is already doomed before you start, because people have because once a man has an inability to actually point an actual problem out in its purest form of what the problem is, they don't have the ability to solve it. And I'm not talking about O'Shea personally, I'm talking about any black man in general. If you don't have the ability to actually point out what the problem is, then your ability to solve it is not there either. It's not there because you can't even identify the problem. And if you're not willing to identify the problem and the totality of that problem, you literally don't have an ability to really solve it, because the logic won't never materialize. So what we do, it's like a blind spot that everybody wants to talk around. You know, people were talking about, you know, are black women black men's enemy? Cynthia G is. Is that all black women? I will say the vast majority of black women are antagonistic to black men. The vast majority of black women compete against black men. And even in the ones that are cool with black men, they fear black women more than they fear black men. Jason Black said something, and you know Jason Black will jump on the quote-unquote red pill for not liking women. So, you know. And Jason Black said this on that stream y'all all told me to talk about. He said, intelligent black society will come into its own when black people fear intelligent black society. And obviously when he defines that, he defines black men and black women that's on their square, on code, and productive more than they fear the ratchets or the people. Yeah, I know Ty City would say, oh, well, you saying word ratchet, but you support Love Dorsey. We're talking about the people that act like they ain't got common sense and they ain't accountable to shit. That's what I mean. Just to address that right on his face. And he was telling this to a guy because it was a call. And this was the last call. If y'all want to hear this, this is the last call of that show. So go to the last 15 minutes of the show, you'll hear him say it. And the guy immediately said, well, how about inspired by? He immediately said that. Inspired by. This is a guy, and so by definition, when you get into fear, he didn't want to do that. Now, I would ask people, do black women fear other black women? The answer is yes, they do. And Kevin is proving it, but you see it. They fear them. And that's something that I'm going to start talking about too. And you know why they fear them? You know why black women fear black women? Because black men are incapable of protecting. They are unwilling. Refuse. Let me say this. They refuse. And I'm going to say it right now. Black fathers refuse to protect their own daughters against other black women. Fuck the mom. I'm talking about even other random black women. They hope they will never be put into a situation where they have to make that choice. Because their programming refuses to allow them to even comprehend that type of scenario. That's why the biggest danger that black women face are actually from other black women. Because you got these women that are very aggressive at turning women out, very sexually aggressive. You hear in the WNBA. I know I'm talking about a lot of different shit now, but my point is, you when they say I will protect you against enemies, foreign and domestic, what the fuck do people think domestic is? And if you can't even speak lip service, like the reason why am I saying this? I'm saying this because this isn't some fucking Paris Milan. Cynthia G has said that the majority of black men are lowlifes. Cynthia G might as well be a part of the Ku Klux fucking Klan. And because that bitch has a vagina and has some dark skin, even though her whole fucking family dates white people, SYSBM they just want to fucking leave. And we can get them to get checked a hell of a lot more. But Cynthia G's got to get the fucking disclaimers. Only those black men would do some shit like that. I don't get I just don't get it. I don't. And I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm going to accept the consequences of the blowback that comes with this. But, and you know what? Take O'Shea off the table. Even Tariq Nasheed. And people forget, Tariq is very much responsible for Cynthia G having a following too. I'm not going to let him off the hook for that. And that's that mindset. When I fuck with Tariq. But when you look at Tariq and you look at this close call, nigga, Tariq had, fucking Cynthia G had Tariq on his fucking stomach in front of the fucking SWAT, Special Forces police force. Because that bitch gave a white man her information and gave him the ability to call 911 on him. People think I forgot about that shit, yo. She did that. I swear to God, and I'm going to say it right now. I'm saying it now. If Cynthia G will get a black man killed and you motherfuckers will still be making excuses. I swear she would do that. And y'all, like, this chick this is the Tommy Sotomayor pass, like free pass. Seriously. She get like people forget her history. She told that bald-headed scallywag bitch on air to sue Tariq and put a Me Too case on him before Me Too was even a thing. Now this has nothing to do with O'Shea. O'Shea's just making a video. At this point, I'm talking about Tariq. because that's the origin of O'Shea talking about him roasting. And O'Shea's not really, well, O'Shea's not responsible for Cynthia G having a platform. Tariq and Boyce are, and Phil are. But that's how fucking cracked out this shit is. I want y'all to really understand that. And at this point, it's beyond giving black women deference. Women will act like wild animals, give them any structure. You know why? Because women don't have a sense of boundaries. Their female nature dictates that they have to push the envelope as much until they get the electric shock, aka consequences. And I understand to a certain extent black men don't have the ability to punish black women. I'm not saying that it's O'Shea's job to punish Cynthia G. But what I will say is, you know, and I know a lot of y'all be acting like I be giving deference to these bitches. Y'all know good and goddamn well I don't. So I don't even know why y'all be saying, oh, well, just because I'm willing to entertain what a female has to say, if they're speaking from common sense, that's the same as me giving deference. And I'm not saying that's what O'Shea's doing. All y'all need to go see the video. It's cool. This is not about O'Shea. What this is about is, this is an example how even when a black woman does, that shit is unconscionable. You don't even see Karazin doing that shit. Like, for real. Like, it took, really, how is it that these females got to check these out? It took Crystal Swirls and these women getting mad at Cynthia G and Kristen Karazin putting their spot out. This is the insanity of it. And I'm sorry. If anybody that wants to play the Pan-African game, they want to play the we gon' fix shit game, if you can't fix your bitch, don't even bring that shit to me. Because the reality of the situation is, there is no pathway there is no route around that. All roads leading to solve the Rubik's Cube that is that black bitch. And I'm saying it just like that. So you hear it. And you are doing, and quite frankly, the Z's have made a decision that I'm not going to solve it. I'm just making a 180. And if you're going to give them, and this is about, if you really want to save the community, you're going to have to give them an option. I'm talking about anybody. Y'all going to have to give them an option that doesn't include leaving. Because their decision is, I don't even know why y'all, the shortest distance between any 2 points is a straight line. So all I got to do is take a 180 and then walk away. And you see all these guys, you see the guys in the NBA, you see the results of a lot of these biracial relationships. It's only going to become more. It's only going to get worse. You see them setting up the political infrastructure for it, which is people of color. And more people are they're just going to dip. And that's all. It's already really started. And they use the women, like, I'm sorry, man. And we can't solve a problem we can't speak to. The women are on their own shit. I don't give a fuck about the exceptions. I know who the exceptions are. That's not the majority. This ain't no 33%. Cynthia G is maybe a small number to that intensity, which I would argue is like 30 to that intensity. But honestly, if Cynthia G can't be excommunicated from the church, I don't know who can be. I don't know what does a black woman have to do in order for black men to completely disown her. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that anymore. I just don't. And they always say that a confused mind doesn't buy. Well, a confused mind in this case ain't gonna buy a black woman. They're gonna say, I try to promote intercultural dating, which, to be fair, recently folks have started doing that. But for the most part, dudes stayed away from that because now it became, I need to identify with this bitch. That matters. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This is my reaction. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Hold on one second. I just don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I really, that's a question I want to ask black men. That's a question I want in the comment section. What does a black woman have to do to be disowned from the black community? That's a question I want answered. I want your answers. I want your real answers. Don't joke. Because I honestly, I don't know. I don't know what a black woman has to do in order to not be able to come back from it. I really don't know anymore. I really don't know. Yo, man, I turned it off. I thought the Clippers got. And then I looked on Twitter, and then I was like, what? I thought they were roasting Paul George.
Yeah, to miss two though.
If you like basketball, two people to check out Ticket TV. That dude is the truth. And yeah, I'm in a barbershop, y'all. Ticket TV and Carcino with a K. Yeah, that dude is good. Yeah, Carcino, he's got like 210,000 subs. He be having an insight on a lot. Like he did an excellent job explaining the Carmelo Anthony Lala thing in an hour. He pretty much, and he knew it kind of. He know a lot of people. So yeah, so he really And he's a real dude. And he gave a lot of like behind the scenes. He didn't throw la. He really gave a lot of real stuff. And I didn't realize this. He said, he was like, yeah, because you gotta understand is in order to get half, you gotta be in a marriage for like 10 years in a lot of these states, including California. So the reason why you saw that they were like together but not together is because she was like, that's why people be prolonging that separation, because they be wanting to get to that 10-year mark, or she trying to see what you gonna really have a comeback in the NBA.
Yeah.
Because remember, he had the side baby and all that, so he really broke all that. He broke down before he got with him. It was like, oh shit. So if you're interested in that type of thing, at least for anything, to be able to comment on it, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Red Sox. I ain't gonna lie though, Carcino be on. Let's just say his red pill barometer ain't as high as it needs to be. But anyway, let me start. See what these people are typing. What's up, AM1? Yeah, I'll be back in here. Yeah, I'm gonna close this up real quick. Get my hair cut. I'm just getting like my goatee and stuff taken care of. But yeah, man, I don't know. I honestly don't know. And this always goes back to BGS, when BGS was talking about people kind of reinvigorated her because they wanted her to be like the antagonist to their own story. I don't know anymore. I really don't. And this is a raw reaction. And no, I'm not beefing. I'm not starting no shit. I'm giving my opinion. And if people want to take it the way they want to take it, they can take it the way they want to take it. But like the thing was like, it was like a long drawn out, it was almost like an apology for making the video in the first place. And I mean, again, I get it, because do you really, the calculation you got to make is, do you really want to hit the hornet's nest? And look, man, if you're getting real money from this YouTube thing, it's kind of like you got to balance it out. And it's not about telling everything, acknowledging it, because there's other people that can kind of keep it 100 that ain't got as much to lose, like me. I understand that. But my thing is, people will sit there and get mad. I'm not even talking about people that are new to where they got the hope in them because they're new. But I'm talking about people that they've been in the game, and it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to say it this way. From a marketing standpoint, I know that there's money to be made by selling selling. I'm not saying this is what O'Shea's doing. I know O'Shea really believes in what he's doing. But a lot of folks, they're in the business of selling hope to black people. You realize that hope is a very good commodity in the black community? That as long as I sell positivity, I sell that there's a chance. It's almost like you could know that Noah's Ark is being built. We already know the storm is coming. We done been given the receipt from God that it's coming. So, literally he went into the same place he created 10 commandments and pretty much signed that motherfucker saying, yeah, I'm dropping it on y'all. So y'all need to go ahead and get this built by this deadline. But we'll still tell the whole masses. It's like, what the government does. When you see Deep Impact, like one of the things with remember the movie Deep Impact where Morgan Freeman was president? And they waited a year before they told people that the meteorite was coming. And you see that like a lot of times. Or it was this other thing. What was the movie? I forget, with John Cusack. It was that disaster movie like 2012. They wait to tell the masses that the shit is already over. So what they do, because they always talk about, I don't want to panic. I don't want to panic. So they basically keep it a secret. This is kind of what I think a lot of folks are doing. I think a lot of folks, what they're doing is they're saying, we know that our people can't handle the truth. Shout out to Jack Nicholson. They can't handle the truth. They can't handle being told. This is not even told that the community can't be fixed. This is what it's going to take to fix it. They can't handle what that's going to take because they can't handle being told what the real problem is. The problem is it's something black men are not doing. There's no, I'm gonna tell you, there is nothing black men can do under the current circumstances that is gonna make black women act differently. Because the problem is not black men. The problem is the structure subsidizes the defiance and chaos. This is why you don't see that level of defiance and chaos in situations where white men are not as approximate. So they have to use other tactics, like impoverishing the whole area. Because they can't be there on the ground to maintain and monitor that. And it's not to say those black women don't have their bullshit, because they do. But their bullshit is different. As they want to get closer to the white man because they're so afar, and they identify their poverty and stuff by their lack of proximity to the white man. So it's a different thing. But it's beyond a walking contradiction, yo. But the thing about it is, like, people, like, because, you know, you even Kevin, oh, well, black women are not our enemy. Bullshit. I want you show me any other race with how their women treats their sons. Show me that. And like I said, I prefer to use the term antagonistic and competitive because that kind of speaks to the mindset of it. But yes, for some women, yes, they see black men as an enemy. They see them as an enemy. And they will do everything they need to do to subvert black men and make sure they destroy black men. And you have a lot of women they are approximate to those females that get corrupted. Man, shout out to Young Grizzly. I don't listen to this new music like that, but he threw me a song by SZA. But some of her controller album, whatever the fuck it's called. What's up? But what people don't understand, like, he's ready to go? Is he still cutting?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad. I thought I heard him say, like, tell that nigga to get up. Man. So, what people don't understand, if you actually listen to the lyrics, and Black Ram I saw doing this too, if you listen to the lyrics of some of these songs, not even some of these songs, like that, I gotta give that album, Grizzly will give it, and I'll put it in the comment section and pin it. Don't even listen. Dude, this is what I dare you niggas to do. Whatever album this is, go to YouTube it and type in whatever the song name is and the lyric version of it. That way you can see the lyrics as you hear it. I know it's hard, and I'm probably not going to do it. I'm not going to lie. Because I can't stand hearing these motherfuckers. And SZA, by the way, is a chick. She's done some songs as far as collaboration with some dudes. And she's not a, you know, listen, look at the lyrics. And do that for any of females. These are the same women that want to throw cater. They're literally throwing other black women under the bus, under the pick me, cater to you. This is why I said calling a black woman a pick me is calling her a nigger lover. Because that's how they look at black women that actually don't hate black men. I'm not saying this, you know, I ain't saying this to be hyperbolic. But if you do not have an ability to identify what the problem is, because you just can't, your brain just can't accept it, I don't know what else to say. All we're doing is we're just talking until the race arrives to a safe destination of erasure, to where 20, 30 years from now, people are going to look back and they're going to say, what did you do? Well, I talked about the hope of what could happen. But at the end of the day, I knew these niggas weren't going to do it. So I said, well, I'll get paid to make them feel good, though. Smurgo, you gonna stop coming in here calling people lames and shit. Like, seriously, Smurgo, you gonna like, I'm gonna check you by blocking your ass. Like, I'm dead ass serious about that. I've had the Pookie and Ray Ray wars. I'm not having that shit again. So anybody, and that includes dudes, because I've checked dudes that like to come in and talk about street dudes a lot too. So you gonna stop that. So you calling motherfuckers lames and shit, you gonna take that shit somewhere the fuck else. Because in the black manosphere where I'm at, and especially on my channel, we operate on higher thought than that typical fucking nigga shit. That nigga back and forth Neanderthal, I want to fight for a bitch shit. Like, straight up. That's your last warning on that. Like, for real. Well, my thing is, the problem is, the biggest problem is when people talk about stuff like being pro-black and shit, you know, it ain't pro-black if what you doing is more of a detriment. And the problem is, this kind of, we need to hold black people together. If you can't speak truth to power, then ain't nothing gonna change. Because the other group, because the dominant society, they have plans for you. They have plans. They're actively assimilating you into their, like, absorbing you. They're doing it with gentrification, which, by the way, notice ain't nobody talking about. They're doing it. They're doing it. You're seeing it. They're setting it up. They're setting up the marketing infrastructure, the sales infrastructure. They're already doing it. While motherfuckers are sitting here trying to coddle women into making them believe, oh, black women are not your enemy. I'm like, yo, like, people are gonna, like, I'm sorry. Black people just don't have that kind of juice when it comes to propaganda. I think y'all don't really understand that y'all are not gonna be able, if y'all are not gonna be able to tell people don't believe your lying eyes. That's not how it's gonna work. People are going to make judgment calls based on what they see. And the best thing that you can do is provide viable options and then try to give them those options that are more acceptable. And when I say, if you can't say, okay, well, I'm not gonna promote interracial dating, fine. Then you need to be very clear on promoting intercultural dating, regardless of how you feel, because you need to give them an option. Because if the option, all roads comes back to what they don't want, they're just gonna leave. I don't understand how people don't understand that. Especially when more black people are conservative, so they understand the capitalism part. If you don't give the market what it wants, it's over. And I think the biggest difference between me, because I'm not like, oh, well, I just don't want to hear nothing about the community. The difference between me and I think a lot of other people is I have a sense of urgency that I think a lot of people don't. I understand there's a doomsday clock. And when that clock strikes, I don't care how much you want to pray to white Jesus or do whatever you want to pray to whoever, Hotep, the Most High, it's over. It may not be everything is just gone, but it's a point of no return. There is no, oh, I need to dial it back. There is no, we're going to go into the, what is it with the Avengers Endgame, into the molecular realm in order to go back. No, it's over. It's just like if you have a certain level of cancer. I'm sorry, we didn't catch it. The only thing we can do is make you comfortable. Dr. Claude Anderson talked about that. And quite frankly, there's a strong case to be made that we're already past that. We're already past that. When you look at how these women are acting today, and look, people want to talk about, oh, well, that's the minority. Okay, so I guess you're going to have to wait till everything is around you. I mean, see, you don't deal with racism on an everyday basis. That don't mean people are questioning whether it exists or not. You don't have this, like, people act like even when it comes to racism, you don't have a nigga wake up call every day. You don't even have a nigga wake up call every week. What are you talking about? Like, motherfuckers are like, so you gotta have like the equivalent of like a nigga wake up call everywhere you go in order to realize there's a problem? I mean, as much as black people talk about racism, like, y'all don't be having nigga wake up calls to the level at which y'all talk about racism and white supremacy. I know you don't. Because there would be a lot more violence against white people if you did. Yeah, the quantum universe, yeah. I mean, for people to not see, half of your men have no children. Like, when you look at the triangle of death, black women are getting abortion in such high numbers, it is like mind-numbing if you actually look at it. 6% of the population has more abortions than any other group by count. Like, honestly, I don't know if this is statistically true. I bet you African American women are probably in the top 4, top 5 for most abortions on the planet. But you don't see that as a problem. These are men that they choose to sexually engage with. Remember, they're choosing to sexually engage with these guys. But that doesn't even register on the Richter scale of awareness. Then you got, because the child support laws, and by the way, black women back up, are so draconian. You got dudes that have abstained from even having kids, which creates the same effect as abortion. And it creates the same effect, to the point where the kids that are being born are damn near retarded because of the guys that gender they're being born from. That's literally producing the Blackenstein that they want to complain about and don't acknowledge at all. To the point that the person I'm talking about actually literally did that same protocol. Literally, she is so mentally retarded that she literally did the very thing that she talked against for like years. And she's in Seattle. So she did a lot of work. She literally went from sea to shining sea to do it. I want you to understand that. I want you to understand like how far like along this stuff really is. And nobody really not. And then the point is, she was still allowed to even have a voice, to the point where you have multiple people say, well, she's got some good points. It doesn't matter. If it's out of her mouth, it's wrong. Period. And this goes way back. Boys, I've seen boys promote her over Erica. I've seen Tariq and plenty of people. Tariq promoted originally with that show. He promoted that chick that like white guys. He promoted that chick that they ended up trying to put a case on him. I mean, God fucking damn. Like, seriously, I want people to really think about that shit. Like, God fucking damn. I mean, think about our record in really selecting women that actually are on our team. Think about the black man's record in this space. It's fucking horrible. No wonder Black Huru and Dre and all them always in my ear about that shit. They're looking at the record. They're looking at the record and the history of the stats. I was just talking to him on Rogers. Hell, Rogers doing the stream now. I gotta tell you, man. I really don't believe that. Well, I'll say this: from Xers, I'd say. All right, from Xers. All right. Anyway, I'll come back to this later. I ain't about to keep my barber rating because he will go to the next person. Exactly. So anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know in the comment section, what is it that a black woman can do to be disowned? Give the typical things that black men do to be disowned. As far as the super chats, appreciate the super chats. Super chats. I'll get y'all later. My apologies, but I appreciate it. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.